Patty, I'm back. I just wanted to do another quick video, and I'm titling it Post-Surgery, the gross stuff. Actually, it's a little bit of pre and post. So the gross bodily function stuff that you may or may not hear about. So I'm giving you fair warning right now. If you are weak or faint of heart in any way, just, you know what, go on to another video. If you want to know what my experience was with some bodily changes post-surgery, stick around. I can't promise you it's going to be pretty, but it'll be honest. So anyways, here's a couple things that occurred during my process. I think I mentioned in my last video, if you happen to watch it, the morning of surgery, I actually experienced for the first time losing hair. And that had to do probably with my diet leading up to surgery. I was on OptiFast and I was on it for 4 months. So it was about the time that, you know, hair loss starts occurring. So it happened the morning of surgery. Let's see, other things that happened. During surgery, my monthly girlfriend showed up. I can't believe it. Thing is so erratic and for all times, but that actually became a blessing in disguise that it happened during that time. And I'll get to that reason why later on, but I just couldn't believe it at the time. I'm like, timing is everything. Another thing too is, I know people always show their incisions and they talk about the fact that there is an incision in the belly button, and I had staples after my surgery, so staples on each of my incisions. And I knew that was going to happen, and I couldn't wait to be put under because I am a freak about my belly button. Nothing, nobody, nothing can touch my belly button. I don't know why I'm a freak about it. But anyways, I was so pleased to wake up and realize after surgery that they had gone in right like above my belly button. So they didn't even go in there, and the staples were above my belly button, so I didn't have that freaky thing. So if you're one of those people who has a freak thing with your belly button, hopefully you too they won't go. I thought they actually went in down through your belly button, but they didn't. Oh, another thing. I had no idea, and I'm just going to get downright blatant here, that farting was not going to occur post-surgery for a couple days. I know they say, oh, you got to get up and walk and pass your gas. Well, that whole time it's burping, or at least for me it was burping. There was no passing gas. There was no ripping them at all until day 3 post-surgery, and then the mechanics down there started working again. I finally started passing gas as well. I was fortunate in the fact that my gas stayed low. It never creeped up into my chest. It never went into my back or my neck. I know a lot of people have that. It stayed low, and I was able to expel it out through both avenues. Isn't that great? Let's see, what else was I surprised by? Let's see, this would have been day 6 post-surgery. I woke up, my tongue was completely yellow, and it smelled like rotting fruit. And it also was sore, like it had didn't have sores on it, but it had like knots on it. It was really strange. I'm like, oh my gosh, and every time I opened my mouth, I'd almost gag from the smell of my tongue. So anyways, of course, I'm brushing my teeth, and I got on, it's really nice, our provider, we can email our doctors at any time, and they're really good to get back to us. So I emailed the surgeon. I said, you know, I got this yellow stuff on my tongue. It smells like rotten fruit. He's like, you've got thrush. I'm going to call in a prescription for you and just take this rinse, do the rinse, and it'll be gone within a couple of times probably. So thrush is basically a yeast infection, and it occurs, you know, in your mouth and so forth. I know I mentioned I got my girlfriend the day of surgery, and the reason why that was such a actual benefit as opposed to being not so good was the doctor said if you hadn't started your period, you probably would have got a yeast infection downstairs. So your pH is better during your period, apparently. So I guess that was a blessing in disguise to actually have my monthly girlfriend during surgery and post. The yeast infection comes on because after surgery and during surgery, they're pumping you with a lot of antibiotics. And the antibiotics kill not only the bad bacteria, but they kill the good bacteria too. And that's how yeast infections start occurring, and that's what happened in my mouth. But literally by the end of the day, I had swished that stuff in my mouth 2 or 3 times, and it was already getting better. And then by the next day, it was pretty much gone. So that was nice. Let's see, what else? Oh, constipation. Oh my gosh. that almost put me over the edge. So a week and 2 days out, a week and 2 days out, I hadn't gone to the bathroom, and all of a sudden, I'm thinking to myself, all I've had are protein shakes and liquid. No wonder I'm not having any BMs. That's fine with me, whatever. Well, all of a sudden, I got a knock on the door, and I had serious constipation, and I was dying. I mean, sweating and bullets, and this is where it just gets so graphic, and I apologize, but I figure I would have liked to have known this too. People said, you know what, you may want to take stool softeners, you may want to take milk of magnesia. Yeah, good advice. I thought I was going to, first of all, I thought a country had moved into my bowels. I was just like, what the heck is going on? There can't be anything down there. I haven't had anything solid to eat. Well, there was. And I mean, I broke out in sweats twice. I could not pass or anything. And I was just really straining on, and my incision became very sore, my large incision, and it had to do with the straining. So finally I called my mom, and I'm like, Mom, please help me. Can you run to the store? My mom was very, very close to me. And get me, so gross, an enema. And she's like, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe. I go, Mom, please, please, please. Please just do this. I don't even care. I'm dying. So she did, and she got here so quick. My mom is 78 years old. I gotta love her. She totally worked it to help relieve me. She hates to see her baby in pain. And so anyways, did that little maneuver, and within 5 minutes, boom, I was free of the country that had located itself within my bowels, and France actually came out of my butt. Yeah. So it was the craziest thing ever, and I had to actually, that was the day I was starting back to work in addition to that. So I went back to work and overdid it. Overdid it a lot. I didn't mean to. I thought I was feeling better. I was feeling, once I went to the bathroom, I was feeling great, and I was feeling great before that. That evening I went to bed, and I was tired, just like you would be fatigued from having recent surgery and working. And my job isn't super physically intense, but there's a lot of up and down and out of the car and in and out of the car. I actually sell real estate, not that you care, but FYI, I'm in and out of the car. And I was showing property to people who were buying a small single story. So we looked at about 7 properties that day. And smaller properties, which was great. It was perfect. And this is also somebody who's really, really close to me, so I knew at any moment when I didn't feel good, I could say, you know what, I'm tapped out, we got to stop. But I got through it fine, and then that night I went to bed, and I actually slept on my side for the first time. So the next morning I woke up, and my large incision on the left, felt like I had been stabbed. It was so, so painful. And that was painful for a good 5 or 6 days. It's even still tender now. I actually have been home with my feet up on the recliner. It scared me a little bit because I haven't been able to walk or do anything. I was in pain. And I was trying to stay away from the pain medication, but it didn't make sense to do that. So I started taking it again. One of the things about the constipation, the pain medication is what apparently does that per my doctor. So anyways, yeah, it was in a lot of pain. And finally this afternoon, I was like, you know what, I've got to work through this pain. I just need to get in the shower and let the water hit me. And I did. And for whatever reason oh gosh, I was in the shower a long time because it just felt so good. And as I was finishing up, the pain started dissipating. And it's still really, really tender, but if I'm careful, it's weird. It almost feels like this pain is a large stitch, which I mentioned in my other video. It's a large stitch that's on the inside, and it dissolves. And until it dissolves, the doctor says it will continually remind you that it's there. Yeah, no kidding. I just thought it was weird that the pain showed up so much later after surgery. But anyways, it felt like the stitch went from my leg. I mean, every time I'd lift up my leg or anything, it felt like it was attached, or it feels like it's attached to a core muscle, one that you use for everything in your stomach. So Yeah, so needless to say, I feel completely blessed to be sitting behind my iPad right now recording this, because I have been feeling terrible with that. And it's also been depressing, I got to be honest with you. You know, when you're used to being up and around, as all of us are, and then you get put down for something like this pain and you think, when is this going to go away? It just, you know, it's just depressing overall. So it's interesting. I've had a lot of emotions over the last couple of days. Today I was on the phone with my husband, explaining to him how grateful I am for the whole way. The timing was so perfect with everything, and even with my work, the timing just worked out perfectly. And I felt like, you know, obviously the master plan was in place, and how grateful I am, and grateful to our insurance, who has this wonderful program. I mean, we have a 12-week program that we go through. So anyways, I had a lot of emotion and was crying, and then I went to go see my assistant at work this evening, and she and I cried. So I mean, there's just been a lot of tears, but I can pretty much attribute them back to, this is definitely a unique situation in my life right now, and just take it all in. And so anyways, that's some of the icky stuff. I think I got all the icky stuff out. Yeah, my last word of advice on the pain is, make sure you get your rest, and make sure you don't go back to work too early or do anything, even if you feel good, because I felt great. I felt great. That pain was not anywhere near me. And then when I went back, it was too soon, and I overdid it, and I paid a hefty price for it. So, and I'm still paying the price. I know I've got to be careful, because that stitch will show up at any moment and just completely feel like I've just been stabbed. So anyways, you guys, thanks so much. I apologize if there was too much TMI in this. For those of you who glean information about it, just know that, yeah, and they tell you to take those stool softeners or milk of magnesia, do it, because your body is, oh my gosh, it shuts completely down and then it starts back up. So things just kind of get compacted in there, and get your rest. And of course, you know, those are the only tips I have so far. I'm no pro at this. I'm learning as I go. But I love you guys all, and hope this was helpful for you. Have a wonderful evening.